Our next guest is Robyn Cox, who was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 13. But that didn't keep her from achieving her dream, and she has got the coolest job in the world. She's a leader in her field. She's a dolphin trainer. I cannot wait to hear your story, Robyn. Please come up and share it with us.
Good morning or good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Like she said, I am a type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed at 13, kind of a rough time in a kid's life to be diagnosed, but at the same time I also decided that I was going to be a dolphin trainer. A lot of kids say that at some point in their life. I was the rare kid that was a little bit too stubborn and was going to go ahead and stick with that career choice. And you know, throughout my life, I've had some people here and there that have kind of thought, dolphin trainer, sure. By the way, you're diabetic, and that's probably not a good idea, but I stayed the course. And even after I was hired with the company that I work with now, there was still some questions on whether or not that was actually going to be possible. But I wasn't about to let somebody at that point tell me that I couldn't accomplish my dreams. So I've really been extremely fortunate. About 10 years ago, I can remember that I was sitting and having a conversation with my brother. And at the time, he was 29 years old, and he was dying of colon cancer. And he was always my big brother, so wise, so smart. But we were having this conversation, and he said, you know what, Robyn? He said, who would have thought when we were teenagers that you were the lucky one because you have diabetes? And of course, granted, I didn't have colon cancer, but I didn't really feel all that lucky. I had already had one aunt, unfortunately, that I'd seen suffer the effects of diabetes and lose one of my aunts from diabetes complications. But I'd also been taking shots for a really long time. I wasn't really involved in JDRF or I didn't know a whole lot about the research that was being done. I remembered my first pediatric endocrinologist told me, don't worry, there'll be a cure in your lifetime, I can guarantee it. And I didn't see anything happening. So I didn't feel lucky. I didn't feel lucky to have diabetes. My health was okay. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. Well, about 3 years ago, my husband and I decided that we wanted to start a family. And I went to a new doctor, and just like every other doctor before, they said, you know what, you should really be on a pump. And I had my standard answer. That's a great idea, but sometimes I'm in a wetsuit for 8 hours in a day, and I can't just disconnect for 8 hours, and nothing's waterproof. There's just not a way to do that. And he looked at me and kind of smiled and probably laughed under his breath and said, well, I think I have something that's going to work regardless. I want you to try it out. It's this thing called the Omnipod, and they say it's waterproof, so try it out, see what happens. And of course, they say waterproof, and I'm thinking, but 25 feet down, 60 degrees salt water, sometimes in the water for 30 minutes to an hour, we'll see if this really works. And it did work. And then all of a sudden, in the next month, my A1C level dropped a whole point. And my care was, and my health was so much better so quickly, just from shifting to a pump. And then about 10 months later, I had a beautiful, healthy little boy. So healthy, so easy, and I was just amazed. Suddenly, I didn't feel as diabetic anymore. I didn't have to take shots. After 20 years of shots, I didn't have to worry about that. And it was so amazing. And I could wear it under my wetsuit, and it was not a problem. And I just thought, that's crazy. It's crazy that somebody's actually thought of this. And then through Insulet and through Omnipod, I've gotten to go out and speak to different people, talk to these amazing little kids that have been diagnosed and families that are going through it, and I get to be their inspiration. And I think that is so neat because I just have so much fun, and it's so good to know that, yeah, I kind of have this crazy career, but I'm actually their inspiration and something that they can look forward to. And so I love that, and it's been such an amazing ride, and events like this just show me how much the JDRF is doing and all the accomplishments that have been made. So now I look back at that conversation that I had with my brother almost 10 years ago, and I think, you know what? I am the lucky one, and it's because of people like you. So thank you very much for all you're doing and making me so lucky. Thank you.